Hello, everybody. I am just working on right now. I am working on getting another camera live for you guys. So, let's see what I can get done here. Gotta love it when your other camera doesn't want to activate. So I'm just working on getting it up. And then, there we go. I got the link now. That's good. I'm going to copy this, move it over so that I can join you guys, and we'll be good. Okay, let's see here. I need to allow access, and then I'm going to show you guys what I'm working on today. When I was doing my toothless a couple weeks ago, I discovered that the foam that I was trying to attach to this stretch felt wasn't staying. So I had to come up with a different way to add like the silver. And so I'll be doing that today and showing you guys how I'm doing that. So I'm going to put this camera up here. You guys will see it in a moment. If I stop trying to turn everything on, that would be great. There we go. Okay, let's see here. And then, okay, we'll do this for now. And I'm going to get this situated so that you guys can see what I'm working on. My kitty cat's bed is in the way. I've been kind of quiet lately because my kitty got pretty sick, and so I had to take care of him. And he's doing a lot better now, thank goodness. But that's why I haven't been posting as much content for you guys. So you're probably like, where's Sam? Well, Sam's trying not to freak out because her cat is like trying to scare her to death. Okay, why is my crane not moving? My crane is fighting me. I guess it's fine. I think my crane might be upside down. Oh yeah, my crane was upside down. It's funny when you're like, why isn't this working? That's because you have it upside down. Oh, that makes sense. Suppose if stuff is upside down, you won't be able to work on it. That's sort of, yeah, that's how life is, right? So, anyways, what I have here today is I have the bodysuit that, I'm going to switch cameras here. Okay. Get this move over. I just want to move. Okay, whatever. So I have the bodysuit that I wore for Toothless. And this is the top part that I had the foam on before. So the foam was attached here, but it wasn't staying no matter what I tried. Like I've tried a bunch of different adhesives and none of them were working. So I've decided then that I'm going to go ahead and use this nice metallic silver embroidery thread and put that over the top of this. So I've got a really thick, big needle here. And I'll be embroidering the top of this so that I have the same look. Let me get my scissors. There we go. Okay. And okay. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day today. It's pretty warm here in Arizona. We've had yet another excessive heat warning. So yeah, that's always fun, right? I just tell you guys, like, it's pretty crazy when the state you live in just is like, I'm exploding. Right. And it's pretty. So, okay. So what I've done is I've taken off the little embroidery thread. Comes with these little pieces here. And it's really easy to slide right off. So I've slid that off. And now I'm going to take the thread here. Okay. Get my lace from this all mixed up there. All right. So I haven't done embroidering in a while. I've got to remind myself of how it works. I'm not exactly the strongest at sewing. Sort of more of like, I'm okay at it, but not very good at it. Yeah, it works. I mean, this is how you make it happen. I wonder how many people are hiding inside today because it's so hot. I think the temperature is supposed to be 113 or 114 today. So that's pretty high. It's pretty intense. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'll just take this and then I'm going to knot it once I get it in. Okay, so I'm going to start. So I've got snaps on this side. Ooh. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Oh, it's sticking to itself. There we go. I'm going to start here in the back. We'll figure out how to show this. Start in the back here. And this is pretty thick material. So I'm just going to have to, not stab myself or stab myself. It's fine. And then I'm going to pull it through. Okay. And I'm going to do another. What I might do actually is, I think I might move this camera over just a little bit. Come on. And then there we go. So I've got the embroidery thread pulled through. I'm going to, it's trying to escape. Ooh, I need this to be a little bit longer so I can knot it. Tie it off. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Staying nice and cool out there. All right. Now I can start. Okay. Got the first knot in, so now I need to unleash the embroidery thread, set it all free. Ooh. That's the one thing with embroidering is like, it's very unusual if you're doing it by hand and not using a machine to like free this huge thing of thread. It looks like it'd be simple, but it's not as simple as it appears. So, for those just joining, I have a toothless garment that I was wearing a few weeks ago that the silver accessories / armor / whatever design on the top of it, I had made it out of foam before and it didn't want to stay no matter how I tried to attach it. So I am just going to use embroidery thread. Oh, there we go. Got a knot. said I'm just going to use embroidery thread to try and make this work. Okay. And I'm not exactly good at embroidering, so we can laugh at me. It's fine. Okay. So now I have to pull all this thread through the needle, and then I can get started. Oh gosh. This is just, there's so much thread. It's wild, guys. It's freaking wild. And it likes to try and knot on you. It's just naughty. That's a terrible dad joke. Why did I do that? Why did I put you guys through the fact that I literally just was like, it's so naughty? Ugh, I'm sorry for putting you through that. You're probably watching this now or in the future going, oh, Sam, it's a terrible joke. I'm not disagreeing with you. It was a terrible joke. What I might do, because the lighting on this is not that nice. Let's switch the camera to be back facing. Okay. My back facing camera can capture much more light than my front facing. So let's do that. Yeah. See me like, what are you doing, Sam? Just trying to get you guys some better light. There, I think that's quite a bit better actually. Yay, better camera. Okay. Now I have to find my thread or my needle that I lost. Okay, I found my needle. Pulling the thread through. It's really just a little party here. The last time I embroidered something, I think I was doing, last time I embroidered, I think was for my, my Soul Calibur costume. I'm pretty sure I embroidered when I did my Soul Calibur. Wait, why did you come out? Okay. All right, this embroidery thread's fighting me. We'll figure it out. You and I together will figure out how to make this embroidery thread work. Even if we have to watch a tutorial together and laugh at me while I'm like, oh, I just made this way more complicated than it needs to be. Which is entirely possible. I could be doing that right now. I could 100% be overthinking this. It is a problem of mine. Okay, so I'm going to find both ends of the thread. Again, this stuff really likes to tangle. And there's so much of it. But I will figure this out. I think I need to double this up. I think if I double this up, it'll stay in the velvet. This stretch velvet is just such a pain in my butt. It just doesn't agree with me on anything. And it fights me on everything I tried to do. And it's just a problem child. And obviously, I need a lot of thread to embroider the whole top of this. So, okay. We're going to try again. We're going to see if we can get started with sewing right here. So, for those of you who are interested in knowing what conventions I'm going to, since they are beginning to return, the only conventions that I have scheduled for this year are Sabotin Con, which is going to be happening Labor Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend's already gone. So I'll be going to Sabotin Con. I will most likely be presenting panels and joining just a couple costume groups, but I will be distancing myself from anybody who's not vaccinated. So if you are a friend of mine or if you want to get photos, please just understand that I have to be cautious because of the individuals I interact with on a daily basis are higher risk. And then I do intend to also attend YumaCon. So I'm a guest at YumaCon. I'll be announcing more of that soon. I have some banners I'll be creating, and so that's in October. So the only conventions I'm going to are SaboteanCon, Labor Day weekend in September, and then YumaCon. I won't be attending any other conventions until January of 2022. So you will start seeing more of me in January 2022. But until that time, I'm just going to be mostly online with all of you fine people, just doing streams like this and sewing and crafting. And I am going to be working on I did accept an emergency commission recently, so I will be working on a unique like foam to fabric transfer. So I'll show you guys how I plan to do that. And I'm also going to be working on Shiro Emiya, a gender bent version of Shiro Emiya from the Fate series. I'm going to be doing his costume when he's midway between becoming Archer and still being considered Shiro. So that'll be kind of exciting. I've always really liked the Fate series, and I'm actually pretty excited to be Shiro. Shiro is one of my favorite characters, so I always found his storyline interesting. The Fate series in general is pretty crazy. So if you haven't heard of like Fate Stay Night, Apocrypha, Grand Order, they're animes that are based off of existing video games, and they take like real past historical figures and they turn them into heroes for this like fight for the Holy Grail. So it's a really, really interesting series, and I like it. I think it's cool. So I'll be doing Shiro from that, and I'll be using found objects and making a lot of that. At SaboteanCon, so far my lineup is I'm going to be wearing a Nurse Joy if I can figure out how to style the wig. I'm trying really hard to do this on my own. I will be doing a KDA Ari, probably two of her different looks, switching out during the day. I may or may not be bringing my Lady Dimitrescu to wear at night. I will not be wearing a Lady Dimitrescu in the day just because the boobs that I hit the camera. The boobs that I wear for her are quite heavy, and I can only tolerate wearing them for so long. So I definitely will be wearing Ari one of the days. I will definitely be wearing Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto, but I'm going to be making Sasuke a little bit sexier. I'll be doing Shiro Emiya from the Fate series, and then I'll be doing Deku Midoriya from Boku no Hero Academia or My Hero Academia. I'm trying to keep it really simple. I haven't been to a convention on site in a really long time. Obviously, a lot of people haven't. So I'm trying really hard to keep it very simple. And I won't be wearing any of my more complicated outfits because I don't want to have too much attention drawn to me. But in the interim, the things that I will probably be showing on the stream is I do plan on making Ari's tail from KDA More. Jinx Cosplay provided me with some really nice fabrics, so I'm going to be using one of Kimtatsu Cosplay's tutorials, and I'll be making Ari's tail. So I'm going to take cardstock and glue fabric to it and then tape everything together, add a little bit of spray foam, and pray for miracles and hope that it works and withstands Arizona's heat. Really hoping that by the time Saboten happens, it's not too warm. We'll see what happens. It could still be this hot. My costume lineup might also change, but I will 100% be wearing Shiro Emiya, and I will 100% be wearing Deku Midoriya one of the days at Saboten. And I do really want to wear my Ari. It just depends on whether or not I can get her tail done. So what version of Ari depends on which. I already have one tail. I just have to fix it. But I don't have her crystal tail, like the really light crystal tail. So that's the one that I really want to work on. So if you guys want to see me work on Ari's tail, let me know. Over the next couple weeks, I'll be working on modifying a leather jacket and bra to turn into a Madame Woe armor set. I was contacted by someone who wanted to have something they could travel with a little bit easier. For those of you who do have foam armor and you're trying to travel with it, just a word of warning, unless you make it something that's collapsible and easy to fold and pops back up, it is going to be really difficult to travel with big armor pieces. So I do highly recommend also making some fabric versions of your armor if and when you can, to where if you want to wear the same outfit to an event that might not be closer to home. I'm starting to do that more with my work too. I'm starting to determine, okay, if I have to travel with this, is this something I can easily pack into a suitcase? I don't really like some people will actually ship their armor to themselves to wherever the event is. I'm not overly fond of doing that just because, one, I don't want my armor to get lost or damaged, and two, I don't want to have to keep trying to find places I can ship to and pick up my armor from. So this is why I try to, if I'm traveling, just understand that I'm going to have to probably wear my fabric version of my armor instead of the actual. So as you guys can see here, I'm just starting to loop around the embroidery thread and creating this nice silver top for the toothless bodysuit that I have, because the armor I did before just would not stay on. It wouldn't stay on. I tried a couple different things. I tried using the Gutermann fabric glue. I tried using Cosbond. Hot glue would probably keep this on. It's just I live in a really hot environment, so hot glue is not an option for me. This is also stretch velvet, and stretch velvet is just, it likes to fight you on anything you try to do with it. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to come in here with silver embroidery thread and call it a day and be like, hey, the detail work on my toothless bodysuit is just going to have silver embroidery thread, and it's not going to be as metallic. And if I want it to look more metallic, what I could always do is just, go into Photoshop and just make it a little bit shinier, and that's okay. But at least with the coloring will still be here. Plus, by making it embroidery, what I can do once I've finished lining the whole top in silver, the design that Sunset Dragon created also had this little curve around the boob, and it would be really easy to do that with embroidery thread. So I'm going to go ahead and do that too. Also, once this is done, to keep the threads from shifting, once I've finished embroidering everything, I'm going to come in here with a little bit of fabric glue and then coat it here and let it dry so that it just stays and doesn't flex too much or expose anything. So yeah, I'm a noob when it comes to embroidery, so you're probably looking at me going like, what are you doing? It's okay. Just let me live my best life being a noob. I'm creating knots in my thread every time I try to sew. Every time. Okay, really? Be free. Be free, please. Thank you. At least this thread is like super, so it's really fragile thread. If you've never used embroidery thread, it's very fragile. You will want to be very careful when sewing. It is going to be something that's going to take you a while. Embroidery is not a fast project. It's a very, very slow, time-consuming. It's like what I would think that crochet or knitting would be for other people. So it's definitely a really slow project. I mean, I've been working on this for 15 minutes, and this is all I have. But once I'm done, it's a permanent detail, and I don't have to worry about having to remake it like I would with foam, where over time foam will get damaged. Plus, the biggest benefit of turning this into embroidery over foam is now I can machine wash this outfit, because the paint that I put for this is actually fabric paint that's machine washable. So yay, I don't have to worry about doing my crazy disinfecting where I have to do Autobahn and vodka, and I don't have to worry about all that. I can just throw it in the washing machine on a delicate cycle in a delicates bag and get it clean nice and easy. I also think what I might do for this outfit, and I've been losing weight, once I'm completely down to where I want to be, I will probably be replacing this corset back with just a black panel so that I can pull it up. And then I'm also going to, I had trouble with the snaps because it's spandex on, it's stretch on stretch. I had trouble with the snaps slipping. They weren't disconnecting, they just were slipping and pulling down. So what I'm going to do is add little straps to the top of this. And these are the things that you learn after wearing a costume the first time. So because stretch velvet is so slippery and it's on top of, metallic spandex, I realized that the bodysuit was just going to keep falling down, even with me having snaps securing it. So now in the future, what I'll have to do is just take some of my scrap dragon scale metallic spandex and just create little straps to blend in that help hold the top part of this up. Things you learn. Again, you never know until you wear it once. And I am happy to say, though, that it survived 114 degrees and nothing melted off of me. So all the other adhesives for other parts of the costume work just fine. That's the stuff you have to think of when you live in Arizona or a hot climate that you normally wouldn't have to consider is really interesting. Tell me some of the stuff, like if you don't live in a hot climate, what are the weird things you have to do if you're like in a cooler climate or a more humid climate? I'm assuming if you're in humidity, you probably have to wear more powder on your makeup or something to keep it from, melting off. I don't like out here. If you just do a little bit of setting spray, your makeup's usually pretty good as long as if it's water based and you're doing body paint, you're gonna have to reapply. But if it's just standard makeup, even if it's water based with some setting powder and setting spray, you're usually good. But I don't know what it's like in other places. I am a desert rat, so I'm not altogether familiar with the environments in other states or countries, although I do intend to start traveling more in the future. Okay, why did I drop my thread? My hands are shaking bad today, and I don't know why, but it's the life of a Sam. But how are you guys doing? Are there any conventions coming up in your area that you're considering attending? If so, what are they? Are they online? Are they on site? Do you have any projects you're working on? Do you have any questions? Please let me know. I am just here for companionship because embroidery steals your soul from your body because it takes so long to do. It's just incredibly tedious. And you don't want to pull too hard. You still want it to have a little bit of flex because, like I said, this is stretchy material I'm embroidering. I don't want it to just all of a sudden snap. So I think embroidery thread has like a little bit of stretch to it, but not a whole lot. I bet there is stretchy embroidery thread. I'll have to look that up. I'm only familiar with just the standard stuff. But there probably is stretchy embroidery thread somewhere. And if you do know of a place that like has music that I can play that Facebook won't ban me again, because I was using royalty free and then Facebook just 100% muted all of my videos that had any sort of music in them, even though I was paying for licenses and I told them I was. They were like, whatever, it's copyrighted music. Yeah, and I paid for a license for it, but I got tired of like their Autobots and their Transformers. I just got tired of their bots not being able to recognize my confirmation of, hey, no, I already have permission to use this audio. So if you know of a place where you can stream music, or if you know of a channel or a site that Facebook approves for, let me know, because I have tried 4 different things now and I have not been successful. I tried Monster Cat, I've tried BeatPick, where I actually bought the license, and I've tried Spotify, a royalty-free channel where even the artists are like, we give our permission. I just don't know what to do at this point about Facebook when I'm streaming, because I stream to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube while I'm doing my crafting. So I'm just trying to figure out what music I can do that won't make Facebook mad. Twitch and YouTube are pretty good about recognizing stuff, but Facebook is terrible. Or maybe I just maybe I just have muted videos on Facebook. And all you do is just you create your own, you listen to your own music while watching me do things. I don't know. I'll figure it out, I guess. We're making progress. I think I'm getting into a rhythm with this embroidery. I'm halfway through the back part of the boob cup. Yay. It's just so tedious. And the thread gets caught on everything. But, yeah. It's going to be worth it in the end to be able to machine wash this and not have to worry about non-fabric armor. I was going to use some kind of like iron on vinyl, but again, this is stretch felt and nothing seems to work on it. And then I did find a high metallic silver that I was going to sew onto this, but it wasn't machine safe, so it was just a combination of things that led me to go, all right, let's just get some embroidery thread. What I am going to do too to make this a little bit shiny is I have, I'll grab the markers and show you guys, but I have silver. Oh, my dog is over here. Ah! Doggy, I don't want to step on you. I love you, doggy. Can you move? No? Okay. All right. Well, my dog didn't want to move. But so to make this more shiny, I have these deco fabric markers. And once I've finished embroidering it, I'm just going to take them and kind of cover the top of this with them and then seal everything in with that fabric glue that I mentioned. So that's just how I'm going to. And I've lost my needle again. There it is. You're probably like, why are you such a mess, Sam? I don't know. I think I'm just having one of those Saturdays where I'm like, I don't know. I will be going to the Pixie Pros Selfie Museum in Tempe next week. So I will be posting some fun photos. And then I have some photos coming of the Toothless for you guys to see soon. So I will have some of that. And then I keep forgetting to post my tutorial on Instructables for Toothless. I need to just finish that. So you have your dog and your cat gets ill all of a sudden, it just distracts you from life. And my day job was keeping me busy as well. So thankfully, both my animals are healthy and good now. My dog had a seizure, but she recovered from it really well, so she seems to be doing good. And my cat scratched his cornea. Thankfully, his eyes all healed up, and then he had to have some shots the other day. And he's an older kitty, so sedation is kind of scary. So I was kind of just focusing on my animals and making sure that they're recovering from everything they were facing okay. Goodness. Oops. I typed that wrong. It's fine. I can fix it. I did that way too far over. I might just go one more in there and fix that. Yeah. There we go. Okay, fixed. Okay. Hello. Thank you for joining. Oh goodness. I keep trying to see. I'm ambidextrous, so I'm like trying to sew with both hands, but then I get confused as to which hand I want to sew with. I'm just no. Can't do that. Okay. Choose a hand, Sam. Choose a hand. There can only be one hand sewing at a time. Only one hand. But for those of you who also watch me on Cause Talk Live, tomorrow we're going to be talking about, oh gosh, what are we talking about? Oh, not safe for work content. So like lewds and suggestive content and stuff like I have absolutely no experience in. So I'm just going to be sitting there moderating the conversation between the people in our group that actually do have experience with it. Because I don't have any like lewd content. All I've done is like a swimsuit shoot. It's about as lewd as I've become or done. So it's mostly just because I'm a pretty shy creature. I know that sounds hilarious. I'm a cosplayer and I'm shy. But I am definitely a shy person when it comes to clothing. So most of my costumes are very covered, even if they don't look covered. Anything that might expose skin is probably a bodysuit or some kind of dance wear. I also have really sensitive skin and I'm allergic to a lot of different sunscreens. So I've had to find ways to wear outfits safely. So that's why I have a great deal of nude bodysuits. What is it? Oh, it's caught on the boot cup. Okay, there we go. This is very satisfying, like just seeing it wrap around the top and like starting to look so nice around here. It does have already a pretty nice metallic sheen, so that's good. Yeah, I did a swimsuit shoot. I think it was last year. I did Sailor Jupiter, and that was so hard for me to be comfortable in. All the models were so nice, and they were trying to help me stay calm, and they're like encouraging because I was just really nervous. I don't normally wear two-piece bathing suits, but all of the Sailor Moon bathing suits are two pieces. And I had to make my own bathing suit because the character that I was supposed to be, Jupiter, all of her swimsuits were sold out everywhere. So then I had to try and make one that matched or emulated what the other girls were wearing. So it made me even more nervous. I was like, do I even look the same? Does it matter? But it's okay. Yeah, I'm very interested to hear about what my fellow Costalk Live people have to talk about tomorrow. It'll be a learning experience for me because we've got a guest from Texas that has boudoir experience, and then we've got another guest who has experience emulating the male body, and then we've got another one that her career has a lot of NSFW content. So I'll just be sitting there moderating comments and learning. And then maybe getting courage to do something different in the future. I don't know. Again, I just like wearing video game costumes and being creatures or I don't know, schoolgirls. Like I do like armor. I'm still working away on my Mandalorian. And I just decided to slow down a little bit on it because without any events, I don't really need to rush it. And I have some costumes I'll be putting up for sale soon because I need to make some space. an NSFW collab, I have no idea if I myself do not create NSFW content without someone else being there. Like I would have to, I probably could do NSFW, like I could do suggestive content if I had another cosplayer with me, but I will not, I refuse to do it on my own. It is just not me. It's not who I identify as. And it makes me so nervous that it causes anxiety attacks. So if I have someone there with me, it's kind of like a, it's like the buddy system. You feel a little bit better. You feel a little bit safer if you have someone present with you. So maybe if I had a collaboration with a fellow cosplayer, I might do it, but I would not do it on my own ever. I just am too, like I said, I am very body shy. I've been body shy my entire life. This is not anything new since I was a child. Like when I was at school at the gym, I would get to the gym early to change before all the other kids. Like I had permission to do so from the teachers. When I was camping with when I was in Girl Scouts, yeah, I was in Girl Scouts, I know. But I would wake up earlier than all the other girls and run away to go change and shower and stuff. I've just always been a very body shy person. It's just how I am. Even when I go to conventions with my friends and we share a room, I run away. And I go change somewhere, or I create a little tent. But yeah, in general, if you've never done an SFW collab, like if you've never done suggestive content or not safe for work content, anything that is considered lewd or possibly suggestive, it probably would be better for you to do it with someone first and not do it alone, just because it's safer and it will also help boost your confidence. Like I said, that swimsuit shoot was the first time I'd done anything that was like, oh, look, I'm not in a complete outfit. I'm just wearing a bra and panties, basically. That was the first time I'd done that. But there were also 5 other people there, and they were really supportive, and they helped a lot. So having experienced individuals with you, oh, no. I got a major knot here. But having experienced individuals with you is definitely very smart. I agree. Like, it's a good idea to do that. Why am I so bad at... Okay, it's fine. I don't care. As long as I eventually get this embroidered, that's all that matters. I can't be good at everything, right? Did you say that you disappeared during cons, or? Oh, thank you. I like talking to people. This is the thing is how do we have companionship without talking to people? Like, I miss talking with people. I'm excited to see cons coming back, but I'm also a little nervous because I know that there's still a lot of risks out there right now. I mean, even though stuff is starting to get better, it's still not perfect. It could be years before it's perfect again, to be honest. If it ever is normal, we don't know. I mean, we don't know how much this disease that's out there is going to change. So that's why I've been trying to get better at streaming and get more used to presenting stuff live, even though this is not my comfort zone. I am definitely an in-person communicator. I can speak through videos, but I do a lot better when I'm in person. I've always liked presenting workshops and panels, and I like interacting with hundreds of people in a crowd. That doesn't bother me. I mean, I've presented to panel rooms of 800 people, so I don't mind being in a big crowd. But for some reason, it's difficult to stream, right? You have to fill a whole hour by yourself or with a group of individuals, and everyone's going to change. Your reach is going to be different. So I just am learning to communicate with everybody, no matter where you guys are. Hopefully you're all staying cool, though. I am hiding in my house today, and I have all my fans on to stay nice and cool because the heat is brutal. brutal. Although when I was a kid, it got hot like this in Arizona in June and July early, and then it cooled off in September. So maybe by some miracle, it'll cool off in September. That would be awesome. That would be great. I would be so happy about that. But this could also just be me having wishful thinking that the heat isn't trying to murder me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we did get rain in Arizona. We actually had a sandstorm last night. I went outside in my back, like I saw it happening, and I was like, yeah, I'm staying inside, and I'm keeping my animals inside, making sure the doggy door is closed. And when I went outside this morning, like my whole backyard is just covered in somebody else's tree leaves and plants, and so much dust. I'm gonna have to charge my leaf blower and start getting rid of that dust. But we got rain last night, and we got rain I think a week or two ago. There have been unfortunately, there have been a lot of forest fires started by the lightning we have. Arizona has a lot of lightning strikes, and I truly believe that between some of the climate adjustments we've seen and those fires, that it's really affecting our weather and making it very weird this time of year. Because I've even had smoke come down from the mountains because of the forest fires. Yeah, charge the Ryobi. Yep. Right. I don't even know. I think I've got 2 different leaf blowers. I don't know. One of them doesn't have one has a cord, one doesn't. And I prefer the one without a cord because I have a pool. And so if you're not careful and you're not paying attention, obviously the cord ends up in the pool, and you don't exactly want a leaf blower cord in your pool. It's not like, yeah, let's electrocute myself on top of the unbearable heat. No, bad combination. So it's a good thing that you know what I should do is I should remove the snap real fast, because I am adding those straps and I need to embroider where the snap is. So just gonna remove the snap real fast. I like these really big snaps. They have a little bit of like a magnetic thing to them. But the great thing about these big snaps is little snaps work for small items, but the little snaps always break or they bend and they don't last very long. So I feel like I have to replace my little tiny snaps constantly. But the bigger snaps, I mean, you put them in, they're not going anywhere unless your thread breaks, or I don't know, you melt them, which would have to be really high melting point because these are some durable snaps. But yeah, I like the bigger metal snaps. They're also a lot easier to work with, I find. I don't know why I'm making this hard on myself and doing this with a pair of scissors, but you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to embrace it. There we go. All right, I'll take the other snap off later, but I'm going to get rid of some of this excess thread. A lot of it will be hidden with the embroidery, but there we go. Okay. Now I don't have to worry about accidentally sewing over a snap and then removing it later, which would not be easy. So I can't believe it's already been almost 50 minutes and I'm not even through one pack of it. Like, this one pack looks like it doesn't go very far. I still have over half of it left and I've only done this much. So embroidery is deceiving. Like, you may only need 3 pieces of embroidery thread to do a whole top and a whole design. It's very deceiving. But it feels so soft and nice, and like it looks really nice. It looks much better. Like I said, once I don't worry about the edges here. I'm going to be taking in, so I'm not too concerned about how even it is right here, because when this gets stretched, it looks pretty good. But I'm also going to be going over the thread with those deco fabric pins that I mentioned. So a lot of there will be like glitter added to the fabric. And if this bodysuit had been white, I could have just painted the silver on. But silver doesn't stand out very strong unless it has like a lighter base. So the embroidery thread is going to be a perfect base for it. And then seal it all with some fabric glue and we're good. Just going to take a while. You have to have so much patience to do embroidery. Like anybody that does this for their life, you are an amazing person. I don't know how you do it. You are just incredible. Just know that. Because I don't know how people can embroider and be so patient. Maybe it's more like a relaxation thing. Like if you're stressed and you just need some kind of repetitive task to complete, just go and embroider for a little while. And I'm just doing this right now because I have this feeling that if I don't do the repairs to my toothless like immediately, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to wear a toothless to a con and completely forget about the problems it has. And then go to the convention and be like, great, now I have to try and safety pin myself into everything. And I don't like safety pins. So I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just fix it now while I know what the problems are. Plus, like if you don't make repairs to your costumes when you're right after or shortly after wearing them, you might also forget like what's wrong with them. So it's always best to make improvements or changes or repairs to costumes after wearing them, or create, if you don't have time or money to make the repairs, say it's a significant one, then I'd suggest getting like little Post-it notes and put your costume in a bag or attach the Post-it note to like the hanger or wherever you store your costume with notes stating, hey, I need this. And then make sure you set like a notification a week or two before the con, reminding yourself of, oh, by the way, I'm going to be wearing this to this event, but it needs these repairs. So I've done that before too, where I was like, okay, I don't have the time or the money at this moment, so I'm just going to make these repairs later. And reminders are super useful. I like using Google Docs and Sheets a lot. I have a Google Sheet for all the costumes that I own and even where I store them, because I have some costumes that the armor and the fabric have to be stored separately. So if I'm going to a convention, then I just look at that document and remind myself of where all the parts are. Like my Gowrie Gabriev from Slayers, the armor has to be stored separate from the fabric because the fabric is really small and easy and I can bunch it up into this tiny little bag. The armor, I cannot do the same thing. That's another one where I accidentally tore part of the attachment when I was at a convention because I got caught on a tree. A tree broke my armor. So I just need to make sure that I get a spare piece of leather at some point and just fix the belt that I tore. I don't even know. Don't ask me how I tore it. I am magical and I can tear leather apparently. So yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't really leather. It was like a faux leather. So it's probably either PU leather or some kind of vinyl. It was gifted to me, so alas, I actually don't know what kind of fabric it is. It just looks like leather and it's really cool. So, but still, I somehow managed to tear one of the securements. So, yay. Well, I didn't. Well, I guess, okay. I and a tree combined broke it. So, yay. Yeah, we're almost at the top part of the boob, which is awesome. Maybe we'll get to the top part of the boob before the stream ends. That would be awesome. And you can't really rush embroidery because the second you start trying to get impatient and rush it is when things go wrong. It's when everything falls apart. I learned that when I was doing, the only embroidery I've done was on my Cassandra Alexandra from Soul Calibur, and it was like 5 years ago. And I just embroidered her little ribbon for her head, and I was like, oh, this is easy. And I kept rushing through it, and I kept messing it up. And I was like, why am I doing? And it's just, I just had to slow down and spent an hour embroidering the easiest pattern ever onto a ribbon because I wanted to be extra. And I was going to compete in that costume. Then everything went wrong for that convention that year, and it's a good thing I didn't, because it just was not a good year to compete. So, stuff happens. It's okay. I don't have any intentions to compete anything coming up per se. But next year I have some big ideas. I and a group of friends are going to attempt a dream costume, like set of armor. Think Gundam, but smaller. And all women. We're going to attempt this, see what happens. But we're going to have to use TPU, so we're working with a 3D printing person I know, my brother. And we're going to see what we can do. If we can make this group of lightsabers happen, that would be awesome. But some of it will need to be PLA, some of it will need to be TPU. We're trying to make it to where, like, anything you have to sit on, or anything that, like, the legs where your knees or your thighs rub is something that's more flexible. That's why I commissioned my brother to do my Nyrene Candros print, so that I could start experimenting with the plastic. And I've learned what its melt rate is. I've learned how to weld it using Bondic. And I think I figured out too how to attach it to my face to where I can easily remove it and add it, like should I need a break to eat or drink. But I'm starting to, since I've been in cosplay for a little bit longer now, I've decided that I'm going to start trying to get into more advanced concepts and do a little bit more engineering and learn how to do that. Just put a little bit more effort in and see where it takes me. Because it can't hurt. Can't hurt to put a little bit more effort in for the cosplay. But we are at our last 3 minutes, and I am actually almost at the top of the breastplate, and so I'll show you guys what that looks like. This is awesome. I think I'm only going to use 2 packages of embroidery. I think I'll be able to get all the way down to this. You'll be able to use 1 package down to the crevice here, and then another package all the way up, and then maybe half of a package for the little boob designs. I am concerned. So this bodysuit does have a bra pad in it. So I am going to have to figure out how to embroider without affecting that. The bra pad needs to be able to stretch, or you get like weird lumping when you wear it. But I'm really excited about my Nurse Joy. I really hope I can figure out. I think I figured out the wig. I really just want to wander around with like a little baby Detective Pikachu in my apron and wear a super cute costume that's really comfortable. And I think I'll probably just get like a pair of pink heels instead of like really simple ones too. I don't think I'm going to do like everything will be correct except for her shoes probably. I'm really finicky about shoes just because I've got high arches. So I've had to learn. Although my Shiro Emiya, I'm wearing like thigh-high boots. I don't know what I'm going to do. Taking Shiro to the next level, making her sexy. Still have to figure out if I want to have Shiro's short spiky hair or if I want to actually have longer hair. Since I am making Shiro female. We'll see what I finally decide. It's just for fun. I've always liked Shiro from Fate, and I think it's going to be interesting seeing him kind of changed a little bit. And I like how many different outfits Shiro has when he's becoming Archer, when he's like not quite like he hasn't found the unlimited blade works yet. I think that's what it is. That's why he changes. I don't remember. I also think it's interesting how Shiro is one of the few, like, not really a historical figure, but a historical figure. So the concept of the Fate series is, like, you have to get the Holy Grail, right? And so there's like Arturia Pendragon, so Arthur Pendragon, but it's Arturia. There's I think there's like a representation for Genghis Khan and for Caesar, and just it's really cool seeing all these historical figures turned into these like badass fighting stereotypes. It's fun, and the types of weapons they come up with, really cool. Kind of want to play the game. Like, I've only watched people play the game. Like, I've watched people stream it. But I haven't played the Fate games. I've only watched the anime. Anime's brutal. I'm assuming the games are similar. I know in the games, the characters have a lot more outfits. So maybe I should check out and see what they have. See if I can get some more inspiration. We're coming to a close here, so I'm just going to finish up this last little bit, and then I suppose I should eat food. I haven't eaten today. Drink some water, but I haven't eaten. So I'm going to just finish up getting to this last little point here and then show you guys what it all looks like, what an hour of embroidery is, which is just depressing, but also awesome. It makes you feel a lot more respect from people who do this in their costumes. That's another thing too. Since I've been a costume judge and I keep getting invited to be a costume judge, and stop myself. I figured, there's some things that I haven't tried. Let's give it a shot. Actually, the only embroidery I did was something very simple. So let's do something that would be a lot more difficult and have to require a bit more finesse and would need sealing. And so yeah, I figured if I haven't tried it, then I should give it a shot. Like 3D printing, I'd only done really minor stuff, and now I'm doing a lot more with that. I mean, I've got experience with 3D modeling and bit mapping and stuff like that. I know that. I have an animation degree. I just don't use it in my day-to-day life. Well, I guess now I do for cosplay. But being a judge, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't too separated from all the things that like the people I'm judging are doing, right? So if someone was like, oh yeah, I tried this type of paper mache, I was like, oh, I've never heard of that before. Let's go see what it is, and let's see how long it takes me. And then I have a newfound respect for that particular endeavor. Like, I've seen people make foam wigs, so then I made a foam wig, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are really hard. And I know a person that is now only making all their wigs out of paper, and I'm like, that's unusual. And then you see how much work goes into making a paper wig, and then you realize that it's temporary, and there really is no way to make a paper wig permanent. So that means every time they wear that character, they can maybe get 2 uses out of their paper wig before they have to recycle it and make another one. So there's just some skills that I've witnessed other cosplayers perform that I just got to try it out, see how it is. And when I try it, I'm like, wow, all right, now I understand. Like, newfound respect for the effort put into these things. Like corsetry. Oh my gosh, I hate corsetry so much. And so anybody that does corsetry, I'm just like, I feel you. The feels. Especially since not a lot of us have any training. Like, all of my sewing training is pretty much from an encyclopedia and a couple things that my grandma and my mom taught me. Like, I have no formal training with sewing. So yeah, I think that's the case with a lot of cosplayers. Is we're just kind of winging it. We're doing everything that an entire studio would do at a movie spot, and we're doing our makeup, and we're doing our costumes, and we're somehow making it work. All right. Well, I am right here at the tippy tip of the breast, and this is where I have to change this a little bit. So before I get in here and change it, I will show you guys. Here we go. And like I said, once I seal this up, and we took this and you put it at a distance, which is what most people are going to see it. Most people are going to see this on me like this. Let me do this. Hey, there you go. Now you can see. So most people are going to see this on me. You can see how much how much sparkle it has and how nice it actually looks. It looks really good. So I think that this is really successful. I think this is going to work out much better than the foam that was fighting me and just not being nice to me. So I'm definitely going to keep pursuing embroidering the top of this for Toothless. And I think I bought way too much embroidery thread. I may have gone a little crazy. That's like way too much. But you know what? It's worth it. It's okay. Put this away. Put my markers away. My dog still has not moved. Whatever. I love her. It's fine. Put the kitty bed back. All right. So we're going to switch cameras here and look at you guys with the main one. And then I'm just going to take this one because it's my phone. And oh gosh. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Deception. Okay, sorry. I'm just being crazy. Look, oh my gosh. Ah! All right, we'll leave with this camera so that you guys don't have to see two of them and being weird. I will see you guys next week. Next week, most likely, depends on if my materials come in. I may be working on that commission, or I will continue working on sewing my Mando Merida now that I have more of the fabric pieces cut out and I need to continue sewing. I also have some of the gold metallic binding that I needed from before. So I hope you guys have a wonderful... Why is this light so bright? I have a light that's like really bright. Has this been this bright the whole time? Maybe it has. Okay. Anyways, I'll see you guys sometime in the near future. Thank you for joining the stream today. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to message me at Thermo Cosplay or visit our website, thermocosplay.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Cos Talk Live talking about NSFW content for cosplay. Have a great Saturday, and thank you again for joining me. Bye.